Hello everyone and welcome to Unit 2, Microeconomics. We are kicking things off with one of the most famous concepts in all of economics, demand. Understanding demand is absolutely essential as it forms one half of the market mechanism that determines prices for everything you buy. By the end of this video, you will understand the definition of demand, the law of demand, and how to represent with a demand curve. Let's get started. So, what is demand in the eyes of an economist? It is not just about wanting something. Demand is the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to buy at various prices over a certain period of time. The two keywords here are willing and able. You might be willing to buy a private jet, but if you are not able to afford it, you are not part of the demand for private jets. Both conditions must be met. The key formula is willingness plus ability equals demand. This brings us to the fundamental law of demand. It is very intuitive and states, as the price of a good falls, the quantity demanded of it will increase. Conversely, as the price of a good rises, the quantity demanded of it will decrease, ceteris paribus. So, when the price increases, the quantity demanded decreases. Why? Consumers buy less of the good because it becomes relatively more expensive. When the price decreases, the quantity demand increases. Why? Because consumers buy more of the good because it becomes relatively cheaper. What ceteris paribus means? Ceteris paribus is a Latin phrase and you will see a lot in economics. It simply means all other things being equal. We're assuming that only the price is changing and nothing else, like your income or the weather. This is a negative or inverse relationship. Price goes up, quantity demanded goes down. We can represent this relationship in two ways. First, with a demand schedule, which is just a table. Let's take the market for coffee as an example. At the price of $5, the quantity demanded might be 10 cups per week. If the price drops to $4, demand increases to 20 cups. At $3, it is 30 cups. And at $2, it is 40 cups. Now let's plot these points on a graph. This gives us our second tool, the demand curve. The y-axis always shows price and the x-axis shows quantity. When you connect the points, we get a downward sloping line. This visual representation of the law of demand is the demand curve, which we label D. But why do we buy more when the price is lower? There are three main underlying reasons. The income effect. When the price of a good falls, your real income or purchasing power increases. You have more money left over, so you can afford to buy more of that good. The substitution effect. When the price of coffee falls, it becomes relatively cheaper compared to other drinks like tea. Some consumers will switch or substitute away from the more expensive tea and buy the cheaper coffee instead. The law of diminishing marginal utility. This sounds complex, but it is simple. Utility is the satisfaction you get from consuming something. Marginal means the extra or additional. This law states that the extra satisfaction you get from consuming each additional unit of a good decreases. The first coffee in the morning gives you huge satisfaction. The fifth coffee, not so much. Therefore, you are only willing to buy those extra, less satisfying units if the price is lower. This is a critical point for your exams. When the price of the good itself changes and nothing else, we get a movement along the demand curve. If the price falls from 4 to 2, we see a movement down along the curve. This is called an extension or increase in quantity demanded. If the price rises from 2 to 4, we see a movement up along the curve. This is called a contraction or decrease in quantity demanded. Notice the precise language. We say quantity demanded changes, not demand changes. The entire demand relationship is still the same. Let's see some real-world applications that IB Economics students can relate to. Movie tickets. When theaters offer Tuesday discount pricing, quantity demanded surges. Students who might see one movie monthly at full price might attend 3 times when prices drop. Smartphones. When new models launch, Previous generation smartphones drop in price. Many consumers who found the $1,000 price prohibitive will purchase when prices fall to $600, demonstrating both income and substitution effects. Seasonal clothing. End-of-season sales dramatically increase quantity demanded. A winter coat marked down from $200 to $80 becomes affordable to budget-conscious students, perfectly illustrating how price changes drive purchasing behavior. Let's see now three common misconceptions. Confusing demand with quantity demanding. Wrong. When price increases, demand decreases. Correct. When prices increases, quantity demanding decreases. Demand refers to the entire curve. Quantity demand refers to a specific point on that curve. Forgetting ceteris paribus. The law of demand assumes all other factors remain constant. In reality, multiple variables change simultaneously, but we isolate price changes to understand the fundamental relationship. Mixing up movements and shifts. A change in the good's own price causes movement along the curve. Changes in other factors, income, preferences, related goods, cause the entire curve to shift, but that is for our next lesson. Let's quickly recap. Demand is the willingness and ability to buy a good at a certain price. The law of demand states that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded, ceteris paribus. This is shown by a downward sloping demand curve. The curve slopes down due to the income effect, the substitution effect, and the diminishing marginal utility. A change in the good's own price causes a movement along the curve. This is the first block of market analysis. Thanks for watching. In our next video, we will explore what happens when ceteris paribus does not hold, and we look at the factors that cause the entire change. Thank you. See you next time.